Today I got a package and it was the photo developing chemicals that I ordered about 3 weeks ago. So I started by heating up some distilled water that I can mix the developer with. Then I taped my instructions to the cabinet so they were easily accessible, and then remembered that I was working with toxic chemicals, so I got my corona mask and some gloves. I guess living in a pandemic has its benefits. Checked the temperature of the water with my thermometer and waited for it to get to 102 degrees. This is the bottle I'm going to be storing the developer in. This is me opening the developing powder. Not much to say about that. This shit smelled real funky when I mixed it. I guess wearing a mask kind of helped. So this is just footage of me stirring that powder in until it's dissolved into that 102 degree water. And then I got a funnel so I could pour it into the glass storage bottle. This bottle isn't exactly ideal for storing photochemicals, but I'm working with what I have. I stuck the cap on and set that off to the side. And then it was time to move on and mix the Blix. So I measured out some more water, got the chemicals ready, opened the chemicals again. This was a two-step process, so this was the first part A chemical that I had to mix into the 102 degree water. And then I poured that mixture into my bottle, which again is not ideal. It's an old vinegar bottle, but I'm working with what I have. And then I had to open the second chemicals and pour it directly into the bottle because apparently this starts some sort of reaction. This smelled terrible and is a very interesting color. I had to clean off the top just because toxic chemicals, you know. And then it told me to pour the mix back and forth between the bottle and the pitcher. I assumed to mix it. I don't know. So I just did that for a little while. See, that color is just strange.
We're cooking up some meth to make money during Coronaville.
Then I relocated to my bathroom, put all the chemicals in my bathtub, so if I spilled anything, it wouldn't get anywhere. Started by heating the developer up a little bit because it has to be 102 degrees when you develop. Or, well, it doesn't have to be, but it's best for it to be. So this is just me running it under hot water and until I got to my temperature. And then I decided to do a quick beginning rinse. Just with a little bit of distilled water. Make sure the film is ready to be developed. And here you can see some panic washing over my face because when I dumped out the water, there was a little bit of a weird color, but that ended up being fine. I'm measuring out the developer, and then pouring the developer in, and then that stayed in there for, 3.5 minutes? This is me rinsing out my pitcher so I can use it for the Blix later. You don't want to cross-contaminate your chemicals. And then I got the Blix ready, so when it was time to pour that in, I could do it quickly. Again, 300 milliliters is ideal for one roll of film. And then this is me pouring the developer back into the bottle. Thank God all of this is reusable. Blix into the developing tank. That goes in for 8 minutes. And you agitate it for the first 10 seconds and then a couple times every 30 seconds. Like I said, for 8 minutes. There's me reading the instructions, making sure I'm getting that shit right. I taped them to the wall by my shower so I could see them. And then good old neck crack. And then I was done with the Blix, so I put that back in the bottle, capped the bottle, and then started to rinse with distilled water because, like I said, my water at home has a lot of iron in it, as you can see by the orange on my faucet. But yeah, my water at home isn't ideal for this, so I used some distilled Poland Spring. I love the faces I'm making in this video. They're really cute and attractive. And this is me checking to see if the images came out, because I wanted to know. I was very nervous. And there they were. It worked. And so this is me doing my final rinse with more distilled water. Gotta do that a lot. Get the water all up in there, all over that shit. More rinsing. I decided to suck it up and use my faucet for a sec. And then I did another final rinse with distilled water. So hopefully the iron in the water didn't have a terrible effect. But, you know, if it did, whatevs. I think it'll be okay. So rinsing, 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 still rinsing. There she goes. More rinsing. Like I said, final rinse, distilled water. I'm so good at this whole voiceover thing on. I'm really just winging it if you couldn't tell already. Get that cap on. invert that tank. It's a fun little process. And then I hung up my line in my shower so I could hang the film to dry. It's just yarn, that's all it is. And then I unrolled the film from the reel, saw that it was properly exposed, and then I paper clipped it to the string, and I added an empty film canister to the bottom for weight. So that's all. That's my process.